No, it's not. Hello and welcome to a dramatic reading by me, Anzan84. I've realised I missed a bit from the Misery Sensi Neo Zero double blitzkrieg debacle. Specifically, chapter data 8. Ami joins the three Lawndailers. And since it's a fairly major chapter, it was also a fairly major omission on my part. I'd accidentally uploaded chapter 7 twice under different names. Let's go. Data 8. Ami joins the three Lawndailers. Okay, so to recap the story so far, Ami got our plane to Germany, which was hijacked by Middle Eastern terrorists planning to blow up the town of Lawndale. And after regaining her sailor mecha powers, Ami beat the snot out of the terrorist and stopped his plan, but she only just managed to land the plane. When Ami came to, she could see in the haze that wreckage was strewn everywhere. She was feeling groggy. There were flames everywhere since there was some flammable material on board, and the smell of burning flesh was everywhere. Ami, though her eyes were playing tricks on her when she saw two familiar faces. She began to speak, though she was still a bit groggy-headed. "Usagi-chan, Mamu, is that you? If it is, why are you in that ridiculous cheerleader uniform, Usagi-chan? Am I as Mamu dressed up like an American rules football player?" Who calls it American rules? Even in most Japanese shows I watch, it's just "I'm foot." "I don't know what you're talking about," Brittany said. "My name is Brittany Taylor, head cheerleader at Lawndale High. This is my boyfriend Kevin Thompson, star quarterback for our team." She was twirling her hair again. Anne was now getting used to her surroundings. After about a minute, the moans of the injured and dying could be heard everywhere. Wreckage was scattered for about several hundred feet. At least the plane managed to avoid the football field. Ami now began to ask questions. "Where am I?" "You're in Lawndale," Kevin responded. "Are there any casualties?" Ami wanted to know. "We saw a lot of icky dead bodies around here." "Ew!" Brittany responded. I could see there was a lot of carnage around. It was sickening. Ami felt like she wanted to throw up. She staggered, not noticing that she had a big gash on her head. How do you not notice that? The result of the tiara she wore cut into her forehead when it hit the control stick. Isn't it a magic tiara? Surely crap bumping her head isn't going to cause any damage with it. The blood was dripping all over her sailor fugu. Look, I got annoyed with this when I was reading this fic through the first time, and I'm annoyed with it again, reading through it again. It's like something out of a nightmare, except this is for real. These Akbar was thrown out of the plane along with his nuclear device before it went off. And then it went off and destroyed the sea. That would have made matters infinitely worse. Ami began to count the small blessings right now. "I only hope that word gets out that I'm okay to my friends back in Japan," she said. Because of course, Japan is constantly monitoring the plane, and considering that their air force got disrupted by the theft. After the Neo Zero, she said. She now slowed down into herself. The blouse for her Seiwafuku was ripped and part of her bra beneath that was ripped off, exposing her left breast. Oh god, not more boobs. Her miniskirt was also tattered and her boots were scuffed. Ami needed some attention. We've got to have a doctor check you out," Kevin stated. "Okay by me," Ami replied. Anne was so overwhelmed by what she saw that she began to cry. Come on, you've seen worse than this. She was going to Germany so that she could become a doctor and help end people's suffering. But now she needs some of that attention herself. So now she thought she saw a vision of Amaterasu Omikari before her, despite the fact that she's not Buddhist. She began to speak some words of encouragement to her. "My child, be strong. The world is in peril, but you and your friends will prevail. Thus have I sworn." Rereading this, I noticed the author likes to use a lot of derivations on either "this I swear" or "I will not rest until." Lazy writing. The vision seemed to dissolve, meaning it was still there. "Amaterasu Omakami!" Ami cried out. Oh, he misspelled it Omikami as Omakami, which means that she's a king demon god. Odd, if the author knows anything about Japanese, which I assume he doesn't. "Don't leave me in my time of need." Stretched out her arms out to her vision, which is now completely vanished. Ami collapsed and began to cry furiously. Brittany herself is now on the verge of tears. "Oh god, Kevin, I hate these crazy, easy nut jobs from Japan." She hugged Kevin. Why us? Why our community? Why now? She sobbed. That's a very good question, Brittany, since the author doesn't think to explain why the terrorists chose to take out a minor football game aiming at a town in the middle of nowhere instead of, say, taking a hint from the guys who did it in real life and hitting the World Trade Center. I wish I knew the answers, Brittany. That's all that Karen could say. The football field was all in confusion now. Everyone was on the field, trying to whoever they could find alive. Mr. DiMartino went to Ms. Lee and spoke to her heartily. I hope you're goddamn satisfied. You went ahead of the game, we just became the target of an international terrorist. I'm blaming that on you, even though it couldn't possibly have been on you. I'll report this man to the state education department. And they'll review the evidence to determine that she was not guilty of anything. If you do that, Miss Lee warned, I'll see that you never work in this state as a teacher ever again. Blackmail is such an ugly word. Hell, I'll make sure you can't work in this entire country as a teacher ever again. You will ever get a job teaching some straw hut in Burkina Faso as part of the Peace Corps. That actually sounds like a cushy job. You sure he won't enjoy that? Mr. Diotino couldn't hold his anger against the back anymore. His right eye bulged out. Ew. And he yelled, Angela Lee, you're nothing but a greedy, egotistical bitch! The battery hoofed out to the area. Timothy O'Neill, the English teacher, attended to someone who just went to cardiac arrest. He was performing CPR. Okay, I think that's probably one of a few accurate use of CPR, and I'm not sure. Let me know in the comments. A doctor checked the person over. I'm sorry, but we've lost him, the doctor said. Mr. O'Neill stood there, the life drained out of him. He began to weep. Jane and Quinn were tending to someone who had a broken leg. Quinn took some wooden boards that were laying on the side, while Jane took her jacket off, ripped it up, and used the strips to bind the boards to her leg. And Quinn was disgusted because that jacket was a brand new one from Nepal. Soon enough, he was taken to Lawndale Hospital. No commotion, no one noticed when a group of Lawndale militia soldiers approached the football field. Really? There wasn't one selfish asshole who decided it was every man for himself? Anthony stood in front of the troops. Now, people, we've got the town, he announced. Now let's take its people! Because the whole town is in this football match and not, oh, I don't know, at their jobs. With that, they stormed into the facility, guns blazing. Charging troops led to mass panic everywhere. In the confusion, Jane and Quinn were separated. Jane lost track of where Quinn was. Quinn was being jostled by the crowd, and suddenly an arm jerked her out of the crowd. Oh, that's good now. Jane, am I glad to see you, Quinn began to say, then saw who yanked her and heard the hideous laughter. Quinn screamed as Beavis began to grope her breasts. Oh, God. When Butthead grabbed her legs. Those two picked her up and carried her off. I'm gonna go home and spank my monkey, Beavis said. Yeah, then we're going to score, Butthead added. I mean, Brittany and Kevin thought was going on from a few feet away. You mean she just happened to fall out of the plane and land there? In the stadium? Yeah, poor the other one, Peter. Oh my God, Beavis and Butthead just kidnapped Quinn, Brittany shrieked. Maybe instead of shrieking you could go there and help. Amy saw what was going on and tried to summon whatever energy she had left to use her Shabon spray, but the exertion was too much. She began to black out. Not surprised, flying from Tokyo to wherever the hell in America Lawndale is, but there's definitely a time gap. His Diotino saw what was going on. Everyone who can, retreat to school, he shouted. Many people did. The whole area was becoming a mob scene. Chaos is now ruling Lawndale. While this line wouldn't be out of place in a more competent Sailor Moon Daria fic, it's sadly not what you'd probably think it means, Sailor Moon fans. Beavis and Butthead arrived at the bus stop with Quinn, and no one stopped them, not even the militia who were doing all this because Beavis and Butthead exist. Quinn was pleading to her captors. Please let me go, I'll do anything you want. My parents are loaded, they'll pay you any rents we want. Shut up, bitch, Beavis snapped her. We're going to score you and you'll just lay back and enjoy it. I'm getting a stiffy just thinking about it. Butthead joined in with his Bus pulled it to a stop. Quinn screamed for help. Beavis, however, got on board, kicked off the driver with his body. Yeah, poor the other one. Beavis took over driving the bus, which was empty. Really? Even why is the guy driving? Butthead undid Quinn's bra and used it as a gag. Man, you got big hooters, Butthead says he looked underneath Quinn's shirt. Quinn slapped him. Ow, you bitch, why did you do that? I was just complimenting you. Beavis drove like a demon all the way back to Highland. Lawndale High now have the Irvin MASH unit, as in the TV show MASH. The injured were everywhere. Doctors and nurses were taking care of them. At the auditorium, all those who were able were gathered. Annie had her injuries tended to and now was feeling a bit better. As DiMartino was on stage, he had a TV set on. The news was grim. Lawndale Melissa now had control of the entire town, except the news company apparently, since they're still reporting. And all but 45 passengers had died in the crash and the death toll was mounting. Why, the Melissa executing the survivors? Bobby Baptiste on CNN stated that Melissa had seized the mayor, the police chief and the city judge. Things are grim outside as well. The reports of the Neo Zero theft and subsequent bombing of Tokyo given just a much coverage. Ami went into shock when he heard that. Okay, but why couldn't he have just written out the guy giving this report rather than recounting what he said? My friends, who knows if they're alright? Ami wondered. Jane was also worried since Daria was over there. Good God, she said, I hope Daria's alright. Ami turned around and saw Jane, conveniently enough. Jane Lane, right? Jane was stunned. Yeah, how do you know? She asked. I replied, I'm in General Ami, Daria's friend. Right now is not the time to beat around the bush about her secret identity as Sailor Mercury. Besides, they had taken off her clothes, made tent to her injuries, and given Ava a Lawndale High t-shirt and blue jeans to wear. I just hope it was a woman who did that. You're the one who asked Dario to Japan, Jane continued. How did you wind up here and what happened to Daria? It's a complicated story, Anne began. I don't know anything about this Neo Zero business. I didn't have anything to do with the JL plane being hijacked either, in case you were wondering about that. Jane took a close look at Ami. Somehow she could sense a spiritual affinity that she shared with Daria. It's called old shoehorning. The two have literally nothing in common. Daria and Jane, after all, were the least liked in school. It seemed that Ami seemed to be in the same category. Based on what? Even in the anime and the manga, she's respected because of her intelligence, not derided. At least there was some hardships. Yeah, only in one episode because of one monster. Ami, you're not telling me the whole story here, Jane shot back. What's happening here? What's happening to all of us? Ami looked deep into Jane's blue eyes. Since that Jane really valued Daria and the rest school didn't. How long have you known each other? He asked. Okay, but I just have to wonder how Ami and Jane are speaking. Are they speaking Japanese? Neither are they speaking English, because the latter sounds more plausible with Ami's intelligence. Ever since we met in kindergarten, Jane replied. My family moved here from Thailand after second grade, then Daria moved here a couple of years back. Then you didn't meet in kindergarten. Not only that, she's got a crush on my brother Trent. Suddenly Ami could see deep into Jane's soul. She could see Daria and Trent. She could see them about to kiss. She doesn't even know what Trent looks like. How could he see this? But it seemed that suddenly Queen Beryl came out of nowhere and snatched Trent from Daria. What kind of bad dream goes on in Ami's mind? This isn't right, he said and began to black out. It must be a medicine they gave you, Jane told her. Probably playing tricks on your brain. Ami felt that had to be it. Remember that it was Endymion who was taken away from Princess Serenity, not Trent from Daria. Somehow a shock of everything was taking its toll on her. She collapsed. Ami, are you okay? Yelled Jane. Shaking Ami. Nothing was okay for her. She seemed to have been transported into the middle of a raging sea. She was now nude. Suddenly it seemed every enemy about the sail center ever faced swarmed out of nowhere. Now we all have our revenge! Roared Kunzite, and it seemed he had a long dagger that he flung right at Ami. Ami dodged it, only to bump it right against Anne. No, Anne's her English name. I think her name in Japanese is N. I never got to kiss Mamorin, but Mamorin, it's all your fault, she yelled. That seemed Anne jerked a red-hot poker and stuck it right across Ami's abdomen. What the hell is this offer into? Ami seems to be screaming in agony. Sailor Galactic came out of nowhere and seemed to rip open the heaven and the earth. Ami seemed to be stuck into a black hole. When she hit bottom, she seemed to be in an area that was completely dark. She was now clad in her Sailor Mercury Seirafuku. Again? Suddenly, strong, intense shafts of light appeared. Most of the sailor sentries stood there with scowls on their faces. Maybe I should have played the G.I. Joe instrumental slightly later, then he could play it over this moment. Not only that, but it seemed that Tuxedo Mask and Moonlight Knight are there as well. Somehow, despite the fact that Moonlight Knight is Tuxedo Mask, as well along with many of her other friends. Grandpa is dead right now because you wanted to go to Germany, Ray started to scream. Okay, but how does Amy know that the grandpa is dead? Then she brands the demon banishment scroll. Again, it's called an Ofuda, and shrieked, Akio Taisan! In the loudest voice possible, as she flung the scroll at Amy. I think you had plain to do with Mamu breaking up with me 5 years ago after Chiba used to arrive, you said. But come on, Amy's brain is definitely fucked up. About your pay, Moon Princess Elation! And again, Peter shows that he has not watched anything from Sailor Moon later than R. Amy seems to be screaming in agony. You have a real dumpling head around here. Yes, Mamu. Amy is the one who wears her hair in Odangos. You abandoned us. You betrayed us, Takiyama said. He flung a rose dart. Everyone was yelling over and over again. Coward! Traitor! Spineless coward! Voices be going on and on and on and on. Finally, Amy couldn't take them and began screaming, Make it stop! Please make it stop! Suddenly a bright red flash whipped Amy back to reality. It seemed like Mr. DiMartino slapped her across her face to calm her down. The 90s, when domestic abuse was motivational. Sorry kid, but I had to do that to calm you down, he began. The TV was turned off when he went back to the stage. He was going to make a speech. I knew that the day would come, he began with his right eye once again bulging out. That's something like this going to happen. Mr. Corleone and his associates in Milano must have been planning to overthrow the local government for some time now. But I was not going to stand idly by and let them get away with it. Then why didn't you report them to the police or the army or somebody? No! Nada! Anthony DiMartino! I was prepared for this. He paused to draw the curtains of the stage. It seemed that the whole stockpile of weapons was right behind him. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I prepared for this very moment. I managed to get some weapons stockpiled myself so I can make my own little group and take back this town. From here on end, you are all part of the Lawndale Resistance Movement, or a free Lawndale at the start. Come on, the LRM will work better than the abbreviation. It is a shame that those who wish to subvert everything this nation stands for, bully and intimidate the silent majority who stand by our democratic institutions. These so-called right-wing militia and taxpayer groups are really wolves in sheep's clothing. They claim they want to restore constitutional government. In reality, they want to restore a fascist dictatorship that would exterminate the poor, the elderly, minorities, and the disabled. This is what our founding fathers wanted when they established our nation. I tell you loud and I tell you clearly, no! If you just stand by while the anti-Corlews and the Timothy McVeighs and the Bob Schultzes of the world. So apparently he knows the names of literally everyone in this conspiracy. This nation tries to subvert the principles of equal rights and equal justice, and we have truly lost the battle. These neo-Nazis must be stopped, for as the old Latin sayings go, qui custodiet ipsos custodes, who watches the watchmen. I probably butchered the Latin pronunciation, but considering how much the author butchers Japanese East culture, it's appropriate. Mr. DiMartino paused went up to Amy. Young lady, he told her, I sent these team to have abilities far greater than any of us here. Probably because I saw you wearing the Sailor Mercury uniform when you crashed out of the plane. We could use them in our battle. Will you join us in repelling the Lawndale militia from here? Amy was too grumpy to say no. Alright, I will, she replied. Well, that implied she was going to refuse if she wasn't hopped out on drugs. Very well then, Mr. DiMartino replied. We will move out at once and retake this town from the enemy. Soon everyone received weapons and began to move out. Battles to retake Lawndale have begun. Beavis, Butthead and Quinn had arrived back at Highland. The two boys opened the door to their crumbling house. Were they not our parents? And threw Quinn like a sack of potatoes into a closet, which they promptly locked up. Quinn could hear them through the keyhole. Yeah, we got diarrhea system now, Beavis, shrieked Butthead. Yeah, cool, replied Beavis. The way went to his Butthead then said, I'm going to score that first. No, dillweed, said an angry Beavis. I'm going to score that first. No, I am, more Butthead. Beavis yelled back, no, I am. I'll kick your ass, you ass, Beavis. You ass. Butthead warned. The butt isn't that nice. Go ahead and try, Butthead, dared Beavers. And began another fight. Quinn could hear it going on. Somehow, uncalled, a memory flitted up to the surface of her mind of a couple of years ago when she and Dyer were still living here. They were going down the street when Beavers and Butthead approached. They began that sickening chant made when they saw Daria. Diarrhea, cha-cha-cha, diarrhea, cha-cha-cha, diarrhea, cha-cha-cha. Diarrhea, is your sister available? Butthead asked. No, she's not, you little pervert, said Dyer sternly. Leave us alone. But we want to score at her, Beavers said. Why? Why does the author get the idea that Beavers and Butthead are sex maniacs? Then made a grab her, grabbing her by the leg. She was back then wearing that stupid red miniskirt, the same one she tried to seduce Kevin with, and her breasts. Diving got real man and kicked the both of them in the crotch. Oof. That's also another trademark of Groen's. His tendency to have people go for the groin. They were sent howling. Quinn ran screaming to her sister, crying and saying things like, "Thanks for saving me," and all that. Somehow their unconfirmed report that late that day, Beavers and Butthead were setting off fire tractors and were throwing M8s into a dirt pile. Went off and apparently a kid in orange hooded Parker, who apparently was with his classmates from an elementary school in Colorado on a field trip, was blown to pieces. Wow, the author simply did not pick up on any of Beavers and Butthead's more sympathetic moments while watching their show, did he? Somewhere in the distance, rumours went, a kid in a hunting hat was said to have gone, "Oh my god, they killed Kenny, those bastards!" Oh god. Oh, he really had to do a South Park joke. Somehow to Quinn, this wasn't interesting right now. She began to cry uncontrollably. She was the most afraid in her entire life. If only Dyer was here, she'd save me from this mess, she sobbed. But his new event, how her wish would be granted. Back with Careers, the repairs for Neo Zero were now complete. The first batch of Neo's Signwinders was all loaded and ready to go. Yoriko was ready to fly once again. There was someone for his biz to attend to first, Dr. Vanderhelfen. Oh yeah, meanwhile in the subplot, another plot, a group known as the Naira, the Neo Imperial something or other, led by Amazona Yoriko and Dr. Helmut Vanderhelfen, both whom are just result of the author just making up names that aims by trying to convert random words into Japanese and German respectively, trying to take over Japan with a stolen prototype plane and then use it to conquer the world. I'm warning you, Dr. Vanderhelfen, Yorikoban, if you don't make a fresh batch of Hinotori personally soon, there'll be hell to pay. I will make you more, I promise, he reassured her. She replied, "You'd better or else." She made a cutting motion across her throat. What, you'll draw on his neck? But she climbed back to the cockpit and catched down runway. Soon she was flying again. Dr. Vanderhelfen turned to Tune Inside and said, "Prepare the Iron Cross armor for me. I have a feeling that I will need it." Tokyo is in a state of siege. The air raid sirens are going off again. At STF headquarters, the sales center is preparing for the next round. Dyer approached Brian Mackenzie. "You don't have a cousin named Michael Jordan Mackenzie back at Lawndale, do you?" she asked him. "Michael Jordan, you say? Come on, Slam, and welcome to the jam." "As a matter of fact, I do," replied Brian. "I know him," said Dyer. "We're classmates at the high school." "How is Mike doing these days?" Brian asked. "Okay, hopefully," was Dyer's answer. "There's bad news about to deliver from an NHK reporter. This is just in from our international desk. A double tragedy has struck the American community of Lawndale. First seen a hijacked JAL flight from Tokyo to Berlin is crashing that town. Further, it is now confirmed that a right-wing militia group calling itself the Lawndale Militia had now taken over the town. Don't have any casualty reports for a disaster as of this time, but NHK will keep on top of these rapidly unfolding events as they develop." All but said essentially was in shock. Amma was on that flight and she may be seriously injured, perhaps even dead. Has she really not had time to call them to inform them she's okay? Sailor Moon was about to speak. "I know it's a blow right now, and Ami's whereabouts are known. We must concentrate on the matters in hand here. If Ami is indeed killed, who speaks like this, really? And let this battle be dedicated to her memory. We swear feel avenge." There it is again. "Whatever has happened to our own life, we must prepare for a final attack." Dyer's to Ben shocked. First time in her life she was genuinely worried for her family. So this is what it's like not to be a sociopath. Everyone may be domineering, her father a nebbish and her sister an airhead. Father's a nebbish what? deep down inside, where most times didn't want to admit it, she really did care for them. Oh, bull. Oh, Di seemed to have a stray tear fall from her face. Sailor Neptune noticed it. She has a name, you know. It's Mishiru. Are you alright, Daria? She asked her. Daria replied, I'm fine, really. Right now I'm surprising inner tempest of raging emotions like she'd never faced before. And God only knew how this would sort itself out in the end. Okay, is about to be gap between our chapters covered now? Now I suppose that I'm going to sign off here and tell you that, like the rest of the fic, this is Cosworth. But I will soon be back with an extended version of the fic's final chapter after that's been used for a Mystery Science Theatre, I Pacific. See you there.